So what is anxiety? Now, anxiety is a completely normal human response to danger, and it is very important that we have it. Now, I want to take you back to the days of the tribesmen. So back in the days when us human beings very first came to this earth, in the days of the saber-toothed tigers, because that is where it all began. So back then, life was all about survival, and us human beings, like every other living creature, were put on this earth to survive and reproduce, and that was it. Okay, so our brain had a very important role to play in keeping us alive. Now, of course, we live in a very different world today. Our safety is not at risk on a daily basis anymore, but nevertheless, our brain is still the same brain. Okay, our brain has not evolved, so it still has this very important role to play. Now, the problems happen because our brain doesn't know the difference between real danger or perceived danger. So, for example, if you are crossing a road and a car was to come around the corner at really fast speed, unexpectedly, your brain would detect that danger. It would send a message down to your body. Your body would go through a physiological response, and it would give you the extra energy and the extra strength to increase your chances of survival. So you would jump out of the way of the car without even having to give it any thought. And when the car has passed, you would notice you would probably have that racing heart, you'd probably feel a bit nauseous, you'd be shaking, and so on. So it's a really good thing, and you know, a lot of people would not be alive today if we didn't have it. But like I've said, the brain doesn't know the difference between real danger or perceived danger. So if we're perceiving something to be dangerous, then our brain can give us that same response. So I use a metaphor to explain this. So we all have smoke alarms in our homes, okay? And them smoke alarms are there to, you know, protect us. So it increases our chances of survival. If there's ever a fire, the smoke alarm will sound and we can get out of the house. But what happens when we burn our toast? The smoke alarm will still go off. And that's because the smoke alarm doesn't know the difference between a real fire or burnt toast. So our brain is exactly the same. It doesn't know the difference between real danger or us perceiving something to be dangerous. And what can happen is our thoughts are like the burnt toast. So our thoughts can set off the false alarm. So if we're thinking about something that, you know, in the future that might happen, our brain can detect danger from that and give us that response. And this is why it's so important to understand our thoughts, you know, and understand where they are coming from, which I'm going to explain in an upcoming video. Because if we don't kind of work on this and understand where these thoughts are coming from in the first place and work on changing them, then our brain will keep doing the same thing, and it will keep wanting to protect us from these things because it doesn't know any different. So it's our job to help our brain to learn.